Whether you're a beginner artist, illustrator, designer, or professional creator, choosing the right drawing tablet can completely change your workflow. In this video, we're ranking the 5 best tablets for drawing with a pen, starting with a solid contender at number 5 and working our way to the tablet that delivers the best overall drawing experience for artists. Let's start with number 5. At number 5, we have the Microsoft Surface Pro 11. The Surface Pro 11 occupies a very specific position in the digital art world. If you're a professional illustrator, concept artist, or designer who relies on desktop applications, this tablet offers capabilities that the other devices on this list simply can't match. Running full versions of Photoshop, Illustrator, Blender, ZBrush, Substance Painter, and Corel Painter means you're not adapting your workflow to a mobile operating system. For drawing specifically, the Surface Pro 11 uses a fully laminated 13-inch display with a 2880 by 1920 resolution and 120 Hz refresh rate. Lamination is important because it reduces the visible gap between the pen tip and the pixels underneath. When you're drawing detailed line art, inking comic pages, or creating technical illustrations, that reduced parallax helps improve placement accuracy. The Slim Pen 2 supports 4096 pressure levels and tilt recognition, but pressure level numbers don't tell the entire story. What artists should actually pay attention to is pressure curve behavior. The Slim Pen performs well during gradual pressure transitions, making it suitable for sketching and rendering. The haptic feedback system also creates subtle resistance, which can make strokes feel more controlled during long sessions. Where the Surface falls behind is consistency across drawing applications. Pen performance can vary depending on software optimization, and Windows still introduces occasional workflow friction compared to dedicated tablet operating systems. The Surface also requires separate pen purchases, pushing total cost higher than it initially appears. The reason it earns the 5th position is because it prioritizes software flexibility over drawing specialization. Artists who need desktop applications will love it, but those looking for the most refined pen experience can find stronger options higher in the ranking. At number 4, we have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. If your art style involves large compositions, complex backgrounds, architectural drawings, comic layouts, or detailed environment concepts, the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra immediately grabs attention for one reason: workspace. The 14.6-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display is one of the largest displays available on a mainstream drawing tablet, giving artists substantially more room for tool palettes and canvas navigation. The display runs at 2960 by 1848 and 120 Hz. More importantly, Samsung's AMOLED technology produces excellent contrast, which can help artists evaluate shadow values and color relationships more effectively. When you're working on illustrations that depend heavily on lighting and depth, contrast quality becomes more useful than raw brightness numbers. The included S Pen uses Wacom EMR technology, and that's something artists should pay attention to. EMR pens don't require internal batteries for basic drawing functions, making them lighter than many competing styluses. Lower pen weight reduces hand fatigue during extended sketching sessions, especially for artists who draw for several hours at a time. Another advantage is activation force. The S Pen registers light strokes very effectively, making it excellent for gesture drawing, rough sketching, and construction lines. Artists who prefer to draw with minimal pressure often appreciate EMR technology because it responds naturally to delicate hand movements. The reason Samsung beats the Surface is that the drawing experience feels more focused and artist-friendly right out of the box. However, it can't move higher because software still matters. While Clip Studio Paint works exceptionally well here, the creative ecosystem simply doesn't offer the same depth of optimization found on the tablets above it. At number 3, we have the Xiaomi Pad 7 Pro with Focus Pen. The Xiaomi Pad 7 Pro earns its place because it solves a problem many artists face: Budget limitations. Not every artist can justify spending over $1,000 on a drawing tablet, and Xiaomi delivers a surprisingly capable drawing platform at a much lower price point. The tablet features an 11.2-inch display with a sharp 3200 by 2136 resolution and a 144 Hz refresh rate. Higher refresh rates don't automatically improve artistic ability, but they do reduce perceived stroke latency. When sketching rapidly or drawing long, flowing curves, the visual connection between your hand movement and the resulting line feels more immediate. The Focus Pen supports 8,192 pressure levels, but what's more impressive is stroke predictability. During inking work, one of the biggest frustrations artists experience is pressure inconsistency. A pen might technically support thousands of pressure levels, yet still produce uneven line weights. The Focus Pen performs surprisingly well here, delivering smooth transitions between thin and thick strokes. For artists who spend time rendering hair, fabric folds, texture details, or organic line work, predictable pressure behavior matters far more than marketing specifications. The Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 processor also allows large canvases and complex projects to remain responsive. Brush performance remains stable even when working with detailed artwork. The reason Xiaomi outranks Samsung is value. For significantly less money, artists receive a drawing experience that gets surprisingly close to premium tablets. However, the reason it doesn't reach second place is software maturity. Hardware can only take you so far. Professional artists often build their workflow around applications, and that's where the next tablet gains a substantial advantage. At number 2, we have the Apple iPad Air 13-inch with Apple Pencil Pro. For many artists, this is actually the most balanced choice in the entire ranking. The 13-inch display gives you noticeably more workspace than standard 11-inch tablets, while remaining portable enough for travel, classes, and client meetings. The resolution of 2732 by 2048 maintains Apple's familiar 264 ppi pixel density, ensuring line work appears sharp even when zoomed out. The Apple Pencil Pro introduces several features that directly impact creative workflows. Hover functionality allows artists to preview brush placement before making contact with the screen. This becomes particularly useful when working with large textured brushes, calligraphy tools, or custom brush packs. The barrel roll feature deserves attention as well. Many artists use brushes that simulate flat markers, pencils, or traditional paint tools. Barrel roll allows those brushes to rotate naturally based on pen orientation, creating behavior that feels closer to traditional media. Another area where Apple excels is stroke rendering. Fast sketch lines, rapid gesture drawings, and curved strokes maintain excellent tracking accuracy even when drawn quickly. That's important because poor tracking often forces artists to slow down, interrupting creative flow. The reason the iPad Air beats Xiaomi isn't raw hardware, it's workflow. Procreate, Adobe Fresco, Affinity Designer, Clip Studio Paint, and other professional applications are deeply optimized for Apple hardware. Artists spend more time creating and less time troubleshooting. The only reason it doesn't take first place is because the Apple flagship model offers an even stronger visual and pen experience.
At number 1, we have the Apple iPad Pro M4 with Apple Pencil Pro. If your goal is to buy the best tablet for drawing with pen without compromises, this is currently the benchmark. The most important upgrade isn't the processor, it's the display. The Ultra Retina XDR OLED panel delivers superior contrast, more accurate color reproduction, deeper blacks, and improved visibility when evaluating subtle tonal transitions. For illustrators, matte painters, portrait artists, and concept designers, these display improvements directly influence artistic decision-making. Color accuracy becomes especially important when preparing artwork for professional printing, client approval, or cross-device consistency. The iPad Pro performs exceptionally well in this area. The Apple Pencil Pro also feels at its best here. Hover response is instantaneous, cursor positioning feels precise, and stroke rendering remains stable during fast line work. Whether you're creating confident comic inks, architectural drawings, technical illustrations, or expressive sketches, the tablet consistently keeps up with your hand movements. One of the less discussed advantages is drawing comfort. At just over 5 millimeters thick, the tablet feels remarkably light during handheld sketching sessions. For artists who frequently draw away from a desk, that reduced weight becomes surprisingly valuable. The reason it beats the iPad Air isn't one dramatic advantage, it's the accumulation of small advantages: better display quality, better visual clarity, better contrast, better artistic color evaluation, better future-proofing. The iPad Air gets very close. The Xiaomi offers outstanding value. Samsung provides the largest canvas. The Surface delivers desktop software flexibility. But when you combine pen performance, display quality, software ecosystem, color accuracy, responsiveness, and overall drawing workflow into a single package, the iPad Pro M4 remains the strongest drawing tablet available for artists today.